Hi, good evening. Hello, everyone. Um, this is Dr. Sulbha Jindal, and I am a veterinarian out of passion, a passion-driven veterinarian. And I'm here today to discuss with you guys about golden retrievers, their origin, their characteristics, their temperament, and how they will be with you as pets, and what all is expected of you as with for them as pets. Okay, here I have why should you listen to me? One, I'm a veterinarian, so I come across a number of pet owners and patients who have questions in mind, who have not made a very conscious decision while buying a puppy, who have a number of unanswered questions which they want to discuss. Also, I have been showing and breeding golden retrievers since more than 15 years now and have raised n number of puppies and adults with me. So I think I am in the right position to guide you better. I won't say I know everything, but I'm sure I know much more. I have learned a lot in all these years. So let's begin here. We had asked a question, and or when we plan to get a breed, I think it's quite wise that we have a brief history of the breed that we're trying to buy. So golden retrievers are a medium to large gun dogs, and these were basically bred to retrieve shot waterfowl, ducks, and game birds at hunting and gaming parties. Now, the word golden retriever. The retrieve word comes in the name from its ability to retrieve the shot game undamaged due to its soft mouth. I'm sure you must have heard of this thing that a golden retriever can hold a raw egg in its mouth without cracking it. So if you compare, you will be able to understand what I mean by soft mouth. So when they would retrieve a game bird, they would not, just tear it to pieces. They would just bring it back intact. Also, the breed has an inherent love for water. Okay, so this breed has got two coats. One is a dense inner coat and one is a outer coat. The inner coat is used to maintain the warmth, whereas the outer coat helps repel water. So these were originally bred in Scotland in the mid 19th century by breeding retrievers with water spaniels. The offsprings were then crossed with bloodhounds, Irish setters, St. John's water dogs, and other retrievers. They were first shown in 1908 in UK, but at that time they were called as flat-coated Goldens. They were not called as the present-day Golden Retrievers. It was in the year 1925 that the American Kennel Club actually recognized this breed as Golden Retrievers. So the present day Golden Retrievers have various uses. They can be used for hunting, they can be used for assisting dogs, they can be used for field trials, obedience, guide work, and one we all know and which we all use them as pets. Okay, so this was a brief history and the origin, how this breed came into being. So now let's discuss, the characteristics of this breed. So when we start, the first thing that the owner, okay, if you have any questions regarding the history, please, you're most welcome to write down, and I'll be here to answer them. Okay. So the first thing when we go for the golden retriever is the color. So we have three different colors in golden retrievers: the cream, the golden, and the dark golden. I did not have models. In fact, I have dogs of different colors for you to see. Okay, I'll just show you. Just give me a second. Okay, if you can see, the first one here is the dark golden. That one is the medium golden, and that one is the cream. Okay. Okay. So the second diversification that we do for golden retriever is based on the region of origin. It can be English, it can be Canadian, it can be American. So there are subtle differences from region to region. Here, how we differentiate if your dog is English or if it's Canadian or American. So the English dogs are stockier. They can be light golden to golden, various colors of golden from cream to dark. Whereas the Canadian or the American are more muscular, are lankier, and they are comparatively a little taller than the English types. Also, their coats of the American type are thinner. But the thing is that the American type have a very smooth and a well coordinated and a very powerful gait. Okay, so if you're planning to buy a puppy, uh, a number of times people will come and ask me that we are planning to buy a puppy, and how do we know that what is going to be the color of our puppy once it's an adult? So, a short idea for you is that when you look at the puppy, look at the color of the ears, especially the tip of the ears. So, the tip of the ear is the color your puppy will be as an adult. Also, the color a lot depends on its genetics. So, when you're deciding the color, please have a look at the parents of the puppy as well. But I tell you one thing, no matter what color or what type, whether English, American, Canadian, if you're buying a golden retriever puppy, you are in for a super loving and an enjoyable temperament. I have two dogs to show you a simple difference between the English and the American types. Okay. Even here. Yeah. So here we see this is the English type of dog. He has a bigger head. He has a bigger head, and whereas this one is the American type, it's comparatively leaner, and this one is more stockier built. Okay, so let's. You have any questions up till now? We can answer. Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay. So let's go to the temperament. Golden retrievers are renowned for calm, playful, and a friendly disposition. It is because of their super pleasing temperament, obedience, that they have been cast in a number of movies. You must have seen a lot of golden retriever movies, that Airbuds and Homeward Bound. Okay, I have a question here. Um, Let me just check. Okay, so somebody here wants to know the difference between difference from a Labrador. Okay, one, it's a completely different breed. Two, these are comparatively long-haired and little bigger than the Labradors. So tomorrow we have a Labrador session. You see the golden retrievers today. You'll be able to take in better on what difference is there. Have a look at attend the Labrador session tomorrow. Okay, so let's go to the temperament. So they are the most easily trainable dogs, and it is to this mellow nature and the trainability that they are one of the most loving pets. Also, but it is their diverse nature that led them to be used as rescue dogs and the 9/11. So there was a dog named Britang. He was a 2-year-old dog. He had helped search a number of survivors from the 9/11 debris. So you want to have some questions? Let's have a look. Okay. So I haven't trained my puppy. He's 15 months now. How can we home train him? Okay, I will get back to that. Okay. So after the temperament, I think I would want to. Okay, if you're planning to buy a golden retriever puppy, see this is the type of breed where there are certain commitments that you need to make with the breed. If you're planning to buy a breed where you don't see any hair, where you're not committed to grooming the dog, I would request you please don't buy it. Be committed to what you're trying to buy. Okay, let's get on to the health. The See, any breed comes with its health issues. It's not A lot of health issues are not breed specific. There are one or two issues that can be due to the a certain breed, but in general, if I say that maybe golden retrievers are more prone to cancer, no. A lot of dogs, you really need to check your dog's genetics. You know how they have been reared, and you really need to find out what you're buying. Go to the breeder, spend time with the dogs that they have, try to understand the temperament, try to understand the time and the energy which has been put in by the breeder on those dogs. Please do not just look at the pictures and jump on buying a puppy. Okay, so I have some questions. My golden retriever is 2 years old but sometimes shows signs of aggression. What could be the reason and how can we control it? Okay. I have a golden. She just turned 1. Her hips look a little weak. Can you tell me about that? Yes, I will come on to that, please. Okay. So, what we do is we finish this once, and then I think I'm there to answer the questions. So, let's go on to the health issues. There can be various cancers which maybe eventually older golden retrievers can face. They can be hemangiosarcomas, lymphosarcomas, mast cell tumors, osteosarcomas. Various conditions of the eyes, like the cataract, which can have the afflicted with progressive retinal atrophy. There can be glaucomas, there can be entropions, corneal dystrophy. So I'll give you a brief thing that if you see any change in the color of your dog's eye, you see there is some haziness, some spots on the cornea, you see the eye turning bluish. Please do not do home remedies. Try to consult a vet, preferably somebody who's good with ophthalmology, or if ophthalmologist is not available, at least a vet. Consult with them, describe them the right time. Please do not wait for it to heal on itself. Some heart diseases have been seen, like valve stenosis, cardiomyopathies. Okay, the joint diseases is one of the common things that I see. They can be patellar luxations, osteochondritis, cruciate ligament ruptures. Okay, one thing that I encounter in routine is, um, in case of joint diseases, I see that a lot of puppies are overtrained. See, when you take home a puppy, you need for it to wait for its joints to, get matured, for it to settle down. You can't make a puppy start exercising. Even if it's a retriever and it is meant to retrieve, it doesn't mean that you just suddenly go home and start making him run after a ball. You gradually need to build up a stamina for it. Also, this is something which has to be gradually done. Please keeping in mind the temperatures, because the country that we are living in here, we have extreme temperatures. So, like the temperatures now, it is extremely hot and humid. Please do not try to over exercise, or exercise your puppies in this or your adults in these temperatures, as over exercising your dog can lead to a lot of joint issues. They might be in one of the joint diseases that I come across is hip dysplasia. It can have a genetic origin, but it is quite possible that your dog might not have shown the signs of hip dysplasia until and unless it was over exercised or it slipped while fetching a ball on a wet floor. So there are a number of, before we just blindly start blaming the breeder, we should go in detail of it and see. That is why I say when you buy a puppy, please inquire about the puppy's parents, whether they are hip scored. Go see the breeder's dogs so you can understand how is their health, how is their joint health, so you can understand better. Also, a lot of females dogs that are spayed or males that are spayed or sterilized at an early age tend to have issues with calcium deposition in the in the bones. So in that case, please contact your vet, discuss with him, read about it before you take a decision. So when you take a decision of sterilizing your dog, make an informed decision. If you have planned to get the dog sterilized, please maintain the calcium levels, vitamin D3 levels, and other joint supplements required to maintain the bone health of your dog. Now, one of the main that also the issues that we see in golden retrievers are a lot of skin issues. See, it's a long-haired breed, and the region that we here is very hot and humid. So there can be a lot of allergies in your dogs. It can be allergic to anything. It can be maybe just a simple insect bite can trigger an allergic reaction. It can be allergic to certain plants, certain grass. Ingestion of certain insects or plants can cause an allergic reaction. Peanut allergy. So please keep in mind the allergies prevalent in dogs, and uh, post the allergies. Discuss with your vet that now that we bought a puppy home, so in case there is an allergic reaction, what signs and symptoms do we see of allergies? There can be spots on your dog's body. There can be redness. There can be swelling of the face. So either discuss it with your vet that what are the possible problems that they can face as an allergic reaction, and what is the home remedy, or who is the closest vet who will be available to you. And most of the times allergies can be easily taken care of with home medication, but it might at times it might need some medical intervention. One more thing that I come across a lot in golden retrievers are hotspots. These are the spots of moist dermatitis. So I will later on come on to the grooming part. So when we discuss grooming, I will tell you that if you this is one of the perks of grooming your dog every day is that if you groom your dog every day, you are spending time with your dog every day, you will be able to figure out these hot spots at a very very early stage. So whatever stage you figure it out, please treat them as ASAP. It can be very, very itchy. It can be very painful for your dog. It can really cause a lot of irritation. Do not try home remedies. Discuss it with your vet. Take professional help and get it sorted. I have a dog which I'll show you the kind of eczema or the dermatitis that they have. Seborrhea. Another thing that I've seen in golden retrievers is that in case of certain hotspots, they because of the itching, they continuously lick those areas, and they have been found to cause self-licking lick granulomas. These are self-inflicted injuries. This is because of the continuous irritation causes them to lick continuously, and that continuous licking leads it is body's immune reaction to make the thin thicker and make into a formation of a granuloma. So if you know about your dog that there are certain hotspots which your dog used to lick a lot, and because of constant licking and redness, the skin has become thickened, or there is a growth, or there is a raised surface, please go and consult your vet. Okay, I have a dog to show you the kind of hot spots that are formed. Here, have a look. Idhar, pass. Pass karo. Pass karo. If you can just see carefully, yeah, this is the area. So now that it has been formed, the hair needs to be removed, and the hair needs to be removed, cut. So keep the area dry, keep the area clean, clip the area, watch it once or twice a day, groom the dog regularly so that it doesn't spread, and use proper medication. Let's go on to some of the questions now. Okay. Golden Retriever is 2 years old, shows sign of aggression. Okay. My Golden Retriever is 2 years old, Parthiv Patel. What could be the reason? One, when you bought your dog, are you aware of the parent's temperament? It is very important that the parents had a very, very good temperament. So, second, did you socialize your dog as a puppy? Is he has he met a lot of people? Is he happy with new people, or he being touched? So there can be a number of reasons for aggression. So you really need to rule out whether the dog is being irritated. Is that kind of aggression shown for some particular reason? Try to avoid that reason that triggers your dog. I have a golden, she turned one, her hips look a little weak. Can you tell me about that, please? Okay, so if you have a golden retriever and you think she looks a little thin on the backside, see, rule out for any injury if has there been some injury in your dog. Two, the supplements, any over exercise, has she slipped somewhere? Try to give her some supplements, try to exercise her, and see that she is not she when I talk about over exercising, under exercising is also very important. I know of a few people who will say that we don't want a dog to go out and run, they want to keep the dog confined indoors. But please understand that your dog needs minimal exercise to maintain their muscle tone. Otherwise, this could lead to muscle atrophy. This is called as disuse atrophy, where the muscle is not used and it loses its tone. So you need to rule out these certain things. If none of these work, you need to rule out what is the status of the hips of your dog, whether it has some joint issues. Okay, so the next question is there a temperament difference between three types of golden retrievers? No, not really. Uh, when we get dogs, or when we are planning to get a puppy, we are all generally golden retrievers have a very, very sound temperament. They are just there to please their owners. So generally, there is no difference in the temperament. The temperament difference can vary from parents to parents. So go check your lines, see what kind of temperaments does your puppy's lines carry. Health differences? No, not really, other than the built differences that I told you. How practical or easy to keep is the golden as a pet, keeping in mind and its care. Okay, if you're planning to get a golden retriever home, you need to commit yourself to taking care of it, grooming it, giving it time. This is not the kind of dog, which can be ignored, and maybe, you will groom it maybe once in 15 days or when you give it a bath. So I wouldn't say it's very difficult, but if you're committing to it, please commit it with your time and energy. If you are okay with that, it is not difficult at all. Okay. Golden retriever hair loss. Okay. So the golden retriever, any golden retriever, is going to shed. It is always going to shed. The number of hair that your dog sheds will vary from season to season. There are two times in the year when they're changing their coat. At that time, they might shed more, but in routine also there will be some loose hair. So in that case, you should groom your dog every single day, and so that whatever loose hair that you have, you remove them in your dog's brush, and they are there so that the hair don't keep falling throughout your house or with your black clothes. Okay. So, and also, I hear a lot of people who will come and ask me, ma'am, my dog's hair are shedding. Please suggest some medicine. Before medicine, see, your dog needs medicine for your hair shed when there is a patchy hair loss, when you see there are some changes on the skin, there is dandruff. Other than that, if it's a generalized hair loss, you do not need medicine. You need to groom your dog. You need to brush your dog. Normal hair loss is okay. Patchy hair loss needs to be looked into. My golden retriever has recently stopped eating his food but wants to eat our food. He throws a lot of tantrums to eat his dog food. Is it normal for them to do this? Okay. So, see, I don't know the age of your. This is for Ayushi. So, I don't know the age of your dog, but you really need to, as a puppy, you really need to build a schedule. You really need to build a routine on feeding your dog. Because as a puppy, they just eat anything and everything. And at that time, people are so happy and they start feeding them off their plates, so this creates a bad habit, and eventually puppies start liking home food better than their own food. So, and also puppies really understand this well, that if they miss their food, if one meal, the owners are all tempted to feed them off the plate or provide them with something more tastier. So you really need to maintain your discipline. You need to know that no, you have to, yeah. And when your dog is not eating, please look into it that your dog is not unwell, it is not ill. As long as your dog is not unwell, there is absolutely no issue in maintaining a discipline. You need to tell him this is your food, this is what you're going to get, and this is what you have to eat. Please make sure that you are not implying this discipline when your dog is sick. You really need to rule out whether it's a tantrum or whether he's refusing food because he's unwell. Nowadays, a lot of issues about hips in golden. Is this genetic or any other problem? So the hip issues in goldens, it is both genetic, it can be, and also it could be due to some injury. So you really need to rule out and see what kind of puppy you have purchased or bought home, what is the status of the hips, how this problem gradually develop, or did this happen after a certain injury. You need to see and rule out whether it was genetic or whether it was because of some injury. I have always wanted to have a golden, but I am a student living independently and have to be out often. Is it okay to leave a golden retriever alone for 9 to 10 hours? Does that have any adverse emotional effect on it? See, golden retriever is the kind of breed, who really longs to please its owner or to have company. Its survival won't be affected even if it is alone for about 9 to 10 hours. As a puppy, yes, it needs to be fed, it needs to be taken care of, and I think it's not you think, is it ethical, is it right to leave your dog? I mean, if you're home only for the another 12 to 14 hours, is it worth leaving that puppy alone for 9 to 10 hours alone? Also, I have seen that if you leave your dog, golden retriever, alone in your backyard, alone or in indoors, have you imagine you leaving a young child, around a teenager, alone in the house? I'm sure you can understand the kind of tantrums, the kind of nasty behavior that he would inflict. It is quite possible that even your golden retriever would show that kind of misbehavior. He can take to barking, he can take to aggression, he can take to chewing things because of the idleness of not seeing someone and staying alone. So please make a very informed decision. If the dog is to be alone for 9 to 10 hours, please think about it before doing that. Our golden retriever has been having few boils a bit often, small pimple-like formations. We keep him cool in cool environment. Okay. So this is a JEI. Okay. So I'm here. As I discussed, it is very common for golden retrievers to have hot spots. It is not just the hot temperature. A lot of reason for hot spots in dogs, in golden retrievers, is moisture. Moisture can be from anywhere. Maybe you are bathing your dog too often. Maybe your dog gets wet from wet grass. Maybe he goes and sits in your washrooms. There can be any source of water, or he just maybe just splashes water from a bowl of water. So other than hot temperature, you know, moisture is very important. So if you are keeping your dog in a cool environment and dry at the same time and still getting those boils, it needs to be looked into. So DogSpot has this answer: leaving any pet alone for 8 to 10 hours a day is not recommended. They thrive on human company and solitude and can be devastating. What is the ideal exercise and duration per day for a golden? Okay, I will come on to this after the exercising. Somebody here says goldens are the best and all they need is love. Yes, it's a very true saying that once a golden retriever owner, he's a golden retriever owner for life. He goes golden for life, despite the health issues, despite their commitments, despite the time and energy commitment for grooming. They are actually golden. The owners become golden for life. What is the best option for maintaining the coat of a golden, and how many times in the week we have to groom? Okay, I will come on to the grooming. Does having another pet with it help at all? Because I wanted a golden retriever since. My golden retriever is 2 months and keeps biting everything. Is this normal? Yes. Please keep in mind that your dog, your golden retriever, doesn't have hands. So, as a puppy, but he has a lot of energy at the same time. So, to utilize that energy, it is going to get into its mouth or try to hold on to anything that it can get its hands on. This is not just a teething issue, it is basically they are just trying to play, but at the same time you can tell you can convey to your golden retriever that this is the amount of pressure that is tolerable for me, this is not. So you need to stop beyond a certain point where you feel that no, this is not right. See, I come across a lot of owners. First they will get their hands chewed for a month or 2 months in love for a puppy. Eventually they get tired of it and then they start complaining that a dog bites. So when your dog has started biting, you have to tell him no. You need to snub him a little bit to stop him. You can't first let him develop this habit and then get off him immediately. This habit has developed gradually, it will go off gradually. Also, you can divert your dog's attention, like, utilizing its energy by playing with it different games. A few days back we had a session with DogSpot on how to keep your dog engrossed with certain indoor games. Utilizing your dog's energy just doesn't mean making it run in hot temperature. Other than running, there are a lot of other things that you can do with your dog. So keep it engaged. Try to discourage this habit of biting. It will go. It is absolutely normal for your dog to try to hold on to things and chew it. My golden is, this is Kanika Sharma. My golden is 10 months old. What is an ideal diet for a golden? Doesn't take out things from the mouth. Doesn't. Okay. What should be the best training method? Okay. So the ideal diet for a golden retriever, it should be a balance of carbs, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, with all the essential fatty acids, minerals, and vitamins. So when you bought a puppy, if you got it from a breeder, you might have discussed it with your breeder regarding what it is being fed, what food it is being fed. Please do not suddenly try to change your dog's diet. If you are not okay with your dog's diet, discuss it with your breeder. Tell him that, I'm not comfortable feeding this. This is what I'm comfortable feeding. So make a diet, out of these ingredients. Nowadays we have had a lot of pet nutritionists on board with DogSpot. So we have a lot of pet nutritionists available. So, in case you feel you want to discuss your diet, you can, but keep in mind, keep your dog's diet, a young dog's diet, high protein, moderate carb, moderate to low fat after 10 months. So, balance it out. It doesn't take out things from the mouth. Yes, they are retrievers. It is their inherent capacity to hold the things and keep them with them or retrieve them. So this is something that will gradually happen. Please try and talk to him, treat him when he listens to you and give you something out of his mouth. So for the training methods, I will come on to the training and discuss it with you. I just got a puppy. Sweet. Sweet. What kind of golden retriever is it? Also, how can we control the biting as a child? Okay. So as a child, as a puppy, if your dog is biting, one, keep it engaged, play with him, talk to him. Also, I see that a lot of older puppies, say 4 month, 5 month old puppies, are being given soaked food, soft food, semi solid food, liquid diets. I would recommend discuss it with your vet or your pet nutritionist and gradually shift your dog on solid foods like dog foods, dry dog foods, so that they spend some time chewing the food, and then that way you can divert its attention from chewing things to sitting and chewing food. Disha says, how do I train him? Yes, I'm coming to the training part. What would be the best food we can give to a 2-year-old? Home food or outside food? Since my dog is choosy, does not stick to a particular food. Tell me something. This is for Parthiv. How do we say that my dog is choosy and doesn't stick to food? I'm sure your dog was not able to ask for a different food. It was us who offered him different kinds of food. It was us who gave him different kinds of tastes. So, no offense, but I do it. I do it for my pets, and I see it is we who don't stick to a particular food. We don't stick to a discipline. So we have to be disciplined. Again, I told you that we need to see that the dog is not sick. There is no issue that it has started eating less. If that is not there, you stick to one food that it likes and try to maintain a discipline on feeding that food. Do not change your foods very often. How to potty train them? I'm coming to that. Can we keep a golden retriever in a 2 BHK apartment with 30 to 40 minutes of daily walks and training? Do golden retrievers as a breed have a tendency to bark a lot considering society rules? Okay. So 30 to 40 minutes of daily walks in this temperature where we in North India have 40 plus degrees and 40-45 degrees plus humidity, it can take a toll on your dog's health. Please do not try to make your dogs exercise in these temperatures. I will recommend that during these particularly hot and humid months, only take your dogs out very early mornings or really late evenings or nights for it to relieve itself and as a recreation, so that they can just go walk with you in your company. Other than that, avoid exercising them. You can exercise them if you feel that the temperatures are good. Also, I would not recommend 30 to 40 minutes of daily walks. If you want to walk your dog, walk him for 20 minutes, like you did 20 minutes of walking today. Give his muscle rest to build and form and to recover from the strain. Do not do it every single day, as this will damage your joints, jaws, muscles, as well as the joints. In winters, when the temperatures are better, also, when you want to exercise your dog, I would want you to inculcate different methods. You can inculcate swimming. You can do walking. You can do a little bit of running. You can play fetch, ball fetch with your dog. So try different exercises rather than just 40 minutes of walk every single day. It can be monotonous for anybody. It can be bad, boring for us also. Can golden retriever diets be vegetarian? Yes, it can be vegetarian, but you need to figure out the protein source. So as long as it is having enough protein, there is absolutely no issue. That I need. Okay, this is Saransh. The last solution that I need to is how do I take care of dental odor? I face it sometimes, not regularly. Okay. So, see, dental odor is not something that has developed suddenly or overnight. It has developed gradually over months. So, for all the puppy owners, I would recommend that if you've bought a new puppy, again, it is your commitment for time. Try to brush your dog's teeth. If not every single day, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Just use a simple, very, very soft, extra soft toothbrush. Do not, do not jump into using toothpaste, gels, etc. It can make your dog repulsive to the toothbrush. Do it gradually. Just let him play with the brush with you in hand. Let him chew it. Let him understand. Let him get used to the fact that you're trying to open and handle his mouth, and try to touch his gums and teeth. Also, we have a lot of dental gels available these days. We have a lot of dental bones available. I am not talking about bones of raw hide. I am talking about good dental bones, which are specifically meant for dental hygiene. You can give them dry dog food to chew on that removes plaque. If you feel that you have gone beyond all that now that tartar cannot be removed by brushing, then you can take in medical help where professionally that plaque and tartar can be removed. And once it is removed professionally, going further, you can try and maintain dental hygiene. My golden has been on a grain-free diet, kibble since 5 years. Due to this, new study shows heart issues have come up. Please advise. See, I want to ask you that when he was put on a grain-free diet, was there some grain allergy that we felt is there? Was there some issue in giving grain? See, if there is a particular allergy or there is a medical condition due to which we stopped giving it grain, then I think it is not advisable to start grain, or maybe we can have some other form which does not cause it harm. There are a lot of different studies which have come up, so we need to get into it for detail. But if you've made him grain free for a particular medical issue, please consider it before changing it. Should the puppies be left in AC room in summers? Okay. Yes, you really need to. This is Aditi Jain. Yes, we really need to maintain the temperature in which we are leaving our puppies. We can't leave it in a very hot room. So maintain your room's temperature, maintain the temperature of your AC, that it is bearable, and don't make it extra cold. Make it good enough for your dog to bear, and so that it is not panting and it is happy and comfortable. My golden is 9 months. Is it okay to give him a bath once a week? Also, he becomes super excited seeing guests or new people, jumps on them. Is it normal? Because sometimes this becomes a problem in public. Okay, so let's go one by one. Giving a bath once a week. Giving a bath once a week is not an issue, but post bath, drying your dog completely with the dryer and making sure that it is not left to dry on its own, or you're not leaving some wet spots on your dog, maybe around the ears, or where the coat is thick, or below the chest area or the arms. So make sure that it is completely dry. But what I do with my dogs, since we are grooming them at least once a day, but I try to groom them twice a day. So if you are brushing your dog very, very thoroughly and trying to keep it clean, like if you're letting it go out, you are there around him so it doesn't go into the wet mud and doesn't get dirty, you will not need to bathe your dog once a week. It can go for maybe once a month or once in 20 days. um, So start brushing it and see that if grooming, this bathing time can be increased. One, two. If you're bathing, if you have to have bathed it, then please see that your dog is dried completely before you let it be. So your puppy is super excited to see the guests. This is what I talk of when I talk about socializing your puppy. So it was very important that you socialized your puppy. It is not that it saw a guest for the first time, because if they saw a stranger for the first time, it is very, very liable that they're going to go and jump onto them and try to please them. So as a puppy, okay, even if now that it's 9 months, please start taking him out along with you. When there are people around, go maintain a distance, stand there, let for a few days, let him get used to people around. Then try to let people ask people to touch him, pat him, talk to him, so that he mellows down. That excitement is going to wear off with gradual socialization. My golden retriever female puppy is 1.5 years old. What is the best time for mating? The the kennel clubs recommend the minimum time where your female can be crossed is the minimum is 18 months. So if you're planning to breed, and also ethically, I would recommend to at least wait for 18. Let her be 18 months, and then when she comes into season, once she's 80, after 18 months, then you can think of getting her crossed. Also, please space your matings or your litters over the time, so that she has enough recovery time. Are there any specific exercises that you recommend? Yes, I will. Okay, Sharat sir has an answer that the ideal age for is 24 to 28 months. So that's what I said, that after 18 months, the next season that she comes into, which will basically be around 24 months. So 24 to 28 months will be the best time. I'm a grade 9 student. This is Gauri Gupta, and my mom says that a dog or a golden have many expenses and needs time, and I won't get time to study. Is it true? Please recommend. I have had dogs all my life. I started showing dogs when I was in school. So it is your priority, it is your commitment to your study as well as your dog. You need to space out time for your studies as well as your dog. You can't ignore it, either of them completely. As far as expenses are concerned, for a living being to thrive, basically, yes, there are some expenses like your medical expenses, food, that the basic expenses. I won't say that to go over the board, but yes, there are certain basic things, basic expenses that you would need to do. Okay. My dog bites when I come to touch him while he is eating or when he is having something with him. Okay, so I don't know the age. This is Rachna Chauhan. I don't know the age of your dog. There has to be a certain reason why it started developed this habit. Please take some professional help of a professional trainer or an animal behaviorist who can look into the reason why he started biting, what is the reason of this aggressiveness, and help you sort out. What is the reason for skin infection? As I discussed, moisture and heat, or also skin infections can be a lot of mites, ticks that can cause a lot of skin infections, fungal infections. Okay, this Julie wants to ask me that for pregnant golden retriever, is it advisable to take her walk daily or not? See, she's just expecting, she's not sick. So a little walk is very, very important for her to maintain her blood circulation, her change of mind, her she needs to be have a time for her recreation. You can't just confine her to a particular area. So don't try to make her run, don't try to make her brisk walk, but normal walk is perfectly okay for her. What is the reason of skin infection? Okay, thanks for the response. Okay, so I had some more topics to discuss. Okay, so After the health, the very important topic that I come across is training. See, keep in mind that your dog has a wonderful, wonderful temperament. So when we, it is easy to train. It is gentle with children. It has a wonderful temperament. It is reliable. It is a very hard worker, and this reliability and hard work is one of the characteristic why it is used as an assistant search dog or a rescue dog, despite everything. So keep in mind that it is not just the dog's responsibility when it comes to training. The whole onus doesn't just lie on the dog. It is equally the pet owner's responsibility, the pet owner's hard work. It is all a part. So when we go to training, there is nothing cuter than having a golden retriever puppy at home. But until it makes a first hot steaming mess on your new Persian rug. So I'm sure all of you who have had puppies and who leave puppies open in the home will relate to this. So let's come. The first main question that people have is potty training. When you are starting to potty train your puppy, I would say the things what your puppy has comes later on. The knowledge that you should have, what should be with you, what should be with the owner. Knowledge, it's a very, very consistent thing. It is not something which is going to happen overnight, and patience is the key. Please be very, very patient with your puppies. Do not treat them or punish them with impatience. So there are a lot of training methods. There can be when you're training your puppy, there can be a number of methods. There can be um, various. You can use one particular method, or you can use a combination of methods. It's completely up to you. But I have a few methods that I've outlined which I use or I recommend for puppies which are bred by me. One is crate training. So crate training is basically, the principle on crate training is that we all understand that our dogs belong to packs. So, when they were in packs, as in the pack of wolves, they were used to living in dens. And, it is their inherent thing that, they will try to keep their den clean. And it, at the same time, in the safety of a den, they feel more secure. So the crate is using the same principle of safety, as well as keeping keeping uh, their den clean. So the idea of the crate is to, it does not allow your puppy to eliminate wherever he wants to or where he should not, because it uses this concept that puppies won't mess where they sleep. Crate is a tool, and you can use it anytime. And it, why I recommend crate training is because it gives you some time to yourself. If you are 24/7 watching your puppy sitting at one place, I'm sure you also need some time off your dog. So crate training gives you that time. Also, a lot of times people will ask me that, isn't crate training cruel? So I want to clarify here that crate is a tool. It is not the tool which is cruel. It is your actions which make it cruel. It is you use the crate wrong way to punish your dog, which makes it cruel. The crate in itself is not a cruel place. In fact, puppies which are crate trained well, they eventually take crate as their safe place. And they're quite happy going back into their crate, and maybe even with an open door, they would love to go and sleep in the crate at night. So, what are the uses of crate training? It uses your puppy's instinct to eliminate, not to eliminate where it sleeps. One. Two, it gives you a break. Three, a very important one. It protects your puppy from all the troubles of eating plants and inedible things. I come across a lot of pet owners who come to me complaining that their pet chewed wires, it consumed plastic pieces, nails. I mean, I have seen things you can't even imagine. So why let your puppy go through all that with when all this can be simply controlled by crate training? So basically, crate training means that there is no indoor mess for you to clean up. So it's not just for the pet; it is for you also. So no potty smells because puppies or dogs relate to potty smell to eliminate. So if they are in routine finding the smell of their pee or poop in your house, they will try to go and pee and poop at a similar place. So it stops them from doing that. Now, very important when not to use a crate. Um, Crate is not to be used as a punishment. It is not to be used to put your dog in when your dog is sick, and it is not to be used as a confinement, because when we use it as a confinement it causes it, your puppy relates it to isolation and develops negative feelings for it. So second way of potty training is paper training. So puppies generally like to eliminate on soft places. So paper is an easy solution, or puppy pads. So eventually, you can start moving the paper to wherever place you would want it to go. So it's very easy, and it is available at all times. Whether it's extreme temperature, you can't take your puppy out. It's easily available at all times. Another method of training your puppy is constant supervision. This is for people, who say we are very free and very vigilant. So you are basically on a vigil, you are observing your puppy 24/7. A little easy on the go method of constant supervision is umbilical cord training. Umbilical cord training is quite similar to constant supervision, just that your puppy is on a 6 foot leash than being open. So it gives you some relaxation than the 24/7 vigil. So I have some general tips for training. Please do not, if your dog or your puppy pees or poops, please do not personalize it. Your puppy is not being spiteful, it is not doing out of choice to take revenge from you from somehow. It is some completely, maybe, it did not understand, it could not go out, it could not hold, it could be anything. But be assured that it is not some kind of a revenge from you. Second, please keep in mind your puppy's age, that when your puppy is about 8 weeks old, it can only hold on to its bladder or its bowel movement for about 1.5 to 2 hours. When it is about 12 weeks to about 2.5 to 3 hours, and at 16 weeks at till for about 3 to 4 hours. So as a pet owner, it is your duty to take your dog out regularly according to the age for it to eliminate and okay. Second, please do not punish your dog for freak accidents of pee and poop. Punishing doesn't help, it doesn't understand. Puppies really operate on schedules, so it is your duty. Puppy cannot look at the watch and ask you to take it out, so it is your duty to take your puppy out at regular intervals. Puppies potty after a long nap, after a meal, after a play session, and the first thing in the morning and before bed. So puppy gives us signals. They will start circling around, they will start sniffing, they will start squatting. So it is you who needs to observe to see, when it needs to go out. Okay. So one more thing that we have here is I wanted to discuss, which is very important with you, as I told you, grooming. So you really need to, I think we're running out of time, so I'll just quickly discuss that we need to groom our dog every single day for 10 to 15 minutes. If your children are buying a dog, please engross them in this activity. let them be a part of it, because this is one of the times where you connect with your dog. This is the time when you communicate with your dog, you touch it, your dog feels attached. I have my daughter here. It's her duty to how to groom a dog, for her own dogs. It is her duty to groom them. So I have a small clipping. You can I'm just going to turn on to her so you can look. And I would want all pet, please do not make it a duty of your workers or your household help to groom your dog. It is your duty. Please do it honestly on your own. It will go a long way in building a very, very happy relationship with your dog. So, here, have a look. Groom करो. पीछे हो जाओ, पीछे हो जाओ. If you can all see, yeah. So we have a slicker brush here. This is a slicker brush. See how we are grooming him. So you have to go from head to toe, every single place. You are not supposed to leave any place. You are supposed to brush the tail. Just brush the tail. How do you brush the tail? The tail, the feet, the chest, the back, every part of your dog should be groomed. Grooming doesn't mean cutting, it means brushing. So if you see this, if you regularly groom your dog, this is how your dog's hair and skin are going to look. Okay. Coming back to it, let's see if we are almost out of time. Let's just see if we have some questions that we can. Why golden retrievers have skin problems every now and then? I have a 19-month-old golden retriever. Please advise what can we do to keep him healthy throughout the year. So this is for Vandana. It's not that only the golden retrievers have skin problems now and then. There is there has to be some management issue which is causing recurrent skin problems. It can be maybe the dog is not groomed properly, maybe the dog is getting wet too often, in bathed too often, not dried completely. Mites can be an issue, ticks can be an issue, fungal growth can be an issue, dermatitis can be an issue. So you really need to look out for the reason where what is causing recurrent skin infections. I think we are almost out of time. I hope you guys had a wonderful session. I tried to answer all I could in this time and tried to share with you all that I could. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you DogSpot for giving me this opportunity. Thank you guys. Looking forward to catch you soon. Bye.